Hey mama, today we're talking about something I think is super sensitive to our mama heart. It's summer. It's a time for social events, for friends gathering together, having fun. But you're noticing something about your girl. She didn't get invited to the party. She's not on the group chat anymore. She scrolls through her social media and sees the sleepover she wasn't included in. And as her mom, you feel that pain. And that's a deep pain that you really do feel. And your first instinct might want to be to fix it or call someone or even maybe throw your own dang party and make sure everyone else is excluded too. But today I want to help you walk that fine, hard line between helping and hovering, between comforting and controlling, between being a safe place and being, well, her only friend. Because let's be honest, she does not want us as her social life, right? Seriously. So hang tight. I'm going to give you some tips, what we can do to help your daughter if she's feeling or is actually being socially excluded.
If you are frustrated with how to get your teenage daughter to open up to you because all you want is to connect with her as you once did, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Jeannie Baldomero, a former rebellious teen, now mom of 3 young adults, educator, and the mom mentor, equipping you to create open communication with your girl so she can come to you about anything, even if she's scared. So grab your oat milk latte, breathe, and let's do this together. You're listening to this because your heart is breaking from the changes that are happening in your girl that is affecting your connection with her. Your once cuddly, talkative little girl is now growing up, but with the cost of silence, emotional bouts, and you get the short end of the stick. You fear these disconnections and challenges you're facing right now is affecting your relationship with her. And what will the future hold between the two of you? How will you get through this season without losing the closeness you once had and so desperately want? Mama, I want you to know you are not alone. As lonely as it may feel and almost embarrassing to share with even your closest friends about this because you feel like you're failing at connecting with her, this is common. It's a season. However, I know that you don't want to sit idle during this time. So here it is. This is what I want to tell you. That you can do hard things. This is a season of hard, but you will get through it by equipping yourself with the right tools to turn this all around. I invite you to explore what could be possible for you. Head to talktoyourteengirl.com right now. I want you to join me and let's equip you together so that you can relate and reestablish your connection with your girl. That's talktoyourteengirl.com. And after you checked out, talktoyourteengirl.com, I want you to come back because next week I have a special announcement for you. It's a surprise and I'm not going to reveal it until next week. So come back next week. I guarantee you're not going to want to miss this announcement.
Okay, I admit I was very concerned about my own kids' social life and the types of relationships they had in their own lives and what I wanted for them and what I had growing up for myself. I had a great group of friends whom a couple of them I still am close with and call my best friends. And I wanted the same thing for my kids, especially being a homeschool family. I was concerned about their social life. And granted, yes, my kids were social. And I hope you can relate to this as well. I forget the journey of going through various friendships, seasons of feeling lonely, and hurt for being left out when I was a teenager. And with technology, it's even more in your girl's face. We want to fix it for them because, frankly, rejection really, really hurts. And it really hurts us, especially when we see it happening to our kids. So when this does happen, I say when, not if, because teenhood is a journey through various relationships that don't all work out. I want to equip you with 3 powerful, healthy ways you can show up for your daughter when she's being excluded and how to help her build resilience and deeper confidence from the pain instead of getting stuck in it. You ready? Here we go. Number 1, be a mirror, not a megaphone. When your daughter comes to you hurt, or maybe doesn't come to you at all, but you see what's going on, the most important thing you can do first is reflect. Reflect on it, not react. I ask you to resist in jumping in and saying, they don't deserve you anyway. Those girls are so mean. I knew they were fake. Let's resist talking like that towards them. Even if it's true. Even if it's true, mama. Piling on only amplifies her pain and reinforces that she's a victim with no control. Okay? Even if we want to say it out loud, and even if we do agree, and it could be true, we're just reinforcing something that is painful to her, and it really allows her to be a victim with no control. Instead, say things like, that must have really stung. It's hard when you feel like the only one not invited. And tell me what you're feeling. By mirroring her feelings calmly and compassionately, you become more of a safe place. And ironically, this is what helps her move through it instead of getting stuck in this swirl of victimhood. She doesn't need you to make it worse. She needs to feel seen. Then that alone is really healing for her, okay? Number 2, the second way you can help is ask questions that build resilience. After she's vented or processed a bit, you can gently pivot the conversation with empowering questions. These are not meant to fix it, but to help her reflect and really grow. Like, what do you think might have happened? Is there something else that feels off in that friendship? What kind of friend do you want to be? Right? It kind of digresses from the friend they're wanting to be, but the type of friend you would like to be. And what do you need right now? Do you need space? Do you need distraction? Do you need a plan? Right? You're asking her, what does she need? And you're giving her control. These kinds of questions really teach her to think critically and emotionally, to name what's going on, to understand the social rejection. We talk about these in Talk to Your Teen Girl framework. We actually go through an exercise where you yourself come up with questions that best suit your daughter, right? I can come and give you these generic questions that you can try, but if that doesn't fit your relationship with your daughter, then it only comes out inauthentic, that you've learned it from a course. So, or from a podcast, I should say. So that in our course, we really help you tailor these questions so that it is natural. It's a natural conversation, natural questions that normally come out of your authentic and genuine relationship for yourself, right? And that's what we teach our students during this course, is to be able to form questions like these that are not disingenuous, but more authentic to your relationship, right? So she doesn't sniff that out. She knows when you're being inauthentic, and I know you know that, right? So we also want to make sure that she's not feeling like something's wrong with her, right? And that she's not, to know that exclusion is officially, unfortunately, part of life, right? Have you ever felt excluded, even as an adult? Yes, we have. And that as much as we want to shield our daughters from that, we also need to help her understand that it's just a part of life, and how she gets through it matters more, right? Where we're equipping her with tools, not just tissue to cry about, right? We're equipping her how to overcome it. The third way to help is to help her expand and not to depend on her social circles, right? To expand her social circles, not just to depend on any certain one. And this one's tricky because our temptation, especially if we're the extroverted moms, is to invite girls over, host movie nights, nudge her to reach out. I mean, I've done that, and I actually probably advise this on my own podcast to do that, right? There's a time and place where we can do that. That is really to understand who her friend circles are. But if she's feeling excluded by these same girls, sometimes it can help. But in the long term, move is to really help her discover new opportunities for belonging without being the one who creates them for her. Yes, we can help initiate by inviting friends over, especially when they're younger, like when they're tweens. But in the long run, we want to help her create them for herself. And here's what that might look like. Encourage her to try a new activity or club, something outside of her usual crowd. Talk about who at school seems kind or maybe even overlooked that she could sit with at lunch, right? Making a new friend that maybe is also left out, but is a great person, right? You know this. Sometimes the kindest, most genuine, caring person is not the popular person, but they'll make a great friend. Support her when she wants to invite a friend over, but let her do the asking, right? Not you. Don't do it for her. You're guiding her to take ownership of her social life rather than outsourcing it to you. You're not in charge of her social life. You want to empower her to do it herself. Because, let's face it, you don't want to be her Friday night plan either, right? You want to hang out with your husband and do things with your husband. You don't want to be the source of her Friday night plans. And also, you're not her savior. You're her support. It's not your job to make rejection disappear, but to show her that she's strong enough to stand up after it. She can make and plan her own solutions. She can come up with something better for herself, right? So mama, I know this is hard. Watching your daughter go through the social jungle of tween and teen life can feel like helpless, right? Especially if you have the front row seat to it and it's just heartbreaking. But she's learning. Every awkward group photo she's not in, every invite she doesn't get, every friend she thought was forever that suddenly disappears, it's all shaping her. And I've seen it in my own daughter. I've seen it in my own life, and I've seen it in my own daughter as well. Friendships have come and gone. They come in seasons. They end abruptly sometimes, but it's shaped her to be better. Not into someone cold and bitter, unless we model that, and we don't want to do that, but someone resilient, self-aware, and able to create the kind of relationships that last. There's always something better on the other side. So your job isn't really to fix it. It's to walk alongside her, to remind her that she's loved, that she's worthy, that rejection, even if it's painful, it's not permanent, but a part of life. You've got this, mama, and so does she. And if you believe it for her, she'll believe it for herself. And if this episode has resonated with you, would you do me a favor and share it with another mom who needs to hear it today? Maybe she has a daughter who she's observing that's being constantly left out, and it's breaking her heart. Do me a favor and take the link to this episode and text it over to her so she can listen to this herself. It's probably the best thing she needs for her. And if you haven't yet, mama, can you leave a review? It helps more moms like you find the show and build stronger connections with their own girls.
Don't forget to come back next week as I make my announcement I know you're going to love.
Until next time, I want you to keep on showing up with that grace and grit and maybe a little humor in this relationship and season of raising your girl, even when it stings a bit. I'll talk to you next time.
Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you or encouraged you or helped you in any way, I'd love for you to share it. You can screenshot this episode and share it in your stories on social media or text it to a friend who can use the support. It's the best way you can thank me. I want to let other mamas know they are not alone. I'd love to stay connected with you. You can find me at raisingherconfidently.com. Until next time, live full of grace, Jeannie.